Good morning, you guys. I feel like my hair is so crazy right now. I feel like this hairstyle kind of gives me bedhead sometimes, even though I braid it up at night. Happy Thought Daughter Thursday. Wow, it has been an insane week for me, like in a good way, but grateful nonetheless. Drop in the comments below if you had some good things happen to you this week. Today, we are going to go ahead and talk about part two of what we were talking about last time, navigating, taking on that creator journey or whatever that entrepreneur kind of like business journey is with not a lot of support, when your friends don't support you, when your family don't support you. If you haven't already, go ahead and check that video out because I really went into depth about certain things that are going to happen more specifically with friends when you kind of start this journey to success and what to be wary of, because people switch up and unfortunately that's just reality. And it really does suck, and I'll agree that it takes for us to go full throttle on believing ourselves, for people to show their true colors, that they were never in support. I definitely do think that it's insane that that's what it takes for people to, for some reason, show that they never really cared about your dreams. And it's wild because 9 times out of 10, you probably supported their dreams. So the fact that they can't even reciprocate it is like, what the hell are we doing? If you are new here, welcome to the Club of for Learning and for Healing. I am your host, The Real Mel B, and this is the Thought Daughter Podcast. Like I mentioned before, last week we had talked about kind of navigating that aspect with friends, and more specifically the topic was like how your friends for some strange reason decide to unfollow you right when you start a creator journey, or decide to like really belittle what you have going on. We were talking about more so just how to prep yourself for the people that you thought were going to support you and then they ended up not supporting you, so now they're not even in the equation. But navigating that with friendships is like really hard. It really does suck because a lot of the times when you're a very giving person and you're starting such a journey like this, all you can think of is wanting to share that success with the people that you truly care about and love, wanting to really take care of everybody that's in your life, and how sometimes it does like suck a little bit more than other things when you have to cut off certain people because you could have sworn up and down they were going to be there for you. Well, today I want to talk about more so navigating the family aspect of it. What do you do when your own flesh and blood doesn't even want to support what you have going on? And what's so interesting is that I have had experience in both. I have had to cut off so many friends. I know I mentioned this in the last video too. I have had to cut off so many friends because they didn't support me. They had secret animosity towards me. They were jealous of what I was doing, and they didn't want to support anything that I did. And I want to clarify too that this is not just for people that are content creators. This also goes for people that are running a business, that are doing anything online, that are artists, but more so in the aspect of using social media as that means to market yourself. And for some reason, when social media comes into play, that's when everybody decides to switch up, which is insane. Blood family, you know, I've had so much lack of support with that. I think the only person that has really like supported outwardly everything that I've done is my older brother. And that's because my older brother and I are literally like this. I have navigated what it's like when your parents don't support what you do. I've heard up and down that what I do is such a waste of time. I have dreamt of doing what I do now since I was literally a kid. Like, I was one of those YouTube kids at prime YouTube in the 2010s, and I was like, I really want to start like a YouTube channel. I've always loved fashion. I was never a Barbie kid. Let me say that real quick, not to go on a tangent, but I was never a fucking Barbie kid. I was a Bratz doll girl through and through. I think I was born with the passion for fashion, but because I knew these things at such an early age, I did not have supportive parents. I heard up, down, left, and right all the time, 24/7, 365, how my dreams were a waste of time, how you can't make money with those dreams, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? Which I think it's so crazy how when people feel vulnerable enough to come and tell us what their dreams and aspirations are, and they're looking for support, and our first thought, well, not our, because I don't know who our is, but y'all's first thought sometimes with these people is to just belittle them is to bombard them with questions and not even hear what they're saying. That's something that's always bothered me. Whenever I would go to tell somebody good news, I hate when they bombard me with questions and before they even say congratulations. And they mask it as, well, I'm just concerned, but deep down that is really projection because of your own personal fear that you have, and you're projecting it onto me because if somebody again is feeling vulnerable enough to come and tell you their dreams and aspirations in return looking for support, you should not be bombarding them with 1,000,005 questions as if they have not thought about this. You should first say, okay, love that for you, fully support it, and then you can start asking questions. And there's also ways to ask questions without being super rude and without making somebody feel like they just can't do it. There's ways to ask questions that respectfully get you answers of just wanting to be on the same page and knowing what's going on. But I feel like a lot harder for people to navigate when their own family doesn't support them because their family is such a big thing. And a lot of people didn't grow up with good family. Why do they get to benefits from the fruits of my labor on a dream they never even supported? Hell no. I'm a full believer that blood means nothing if you can't treat your blood correctly. And it's crazy too because if, oh, we're supposed to be family and you're treating your family like that, you have a twisted definition of what family is because your family's supposed to be your first support system. I don't know where this weird twisted ideology came that your family's supposed to be your first bully because the world isn't nice. What? Like, that makes no sense. Your family's supposed to be your safe space because the world's not nice, not your first exposure to the unkindness of the world. That's so fucking stupid. And for your family to not support your dreams, for what? Like, just because you have fear and you didn't want to go achieve your dreams is not my issue. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's the reality of the situation. Your parents being too afraid to go achieve their dreams does not give them the right to project that fear and regret onto you. That's not your fucking problem. You can't do anything about that. You can't magically make time come back for them to start their dream. I'm sorry that you didn't do it and now you regret it. And that's something that's like a huge reality for a lot of people. And navigating when your family only wants to see their own regret when it comes to your success is so stressful on top of building a career, especially any sort of like artistic career, because that's already like a lot going on. And then add a hating ass family on top of that. Yeah, that's too much. And I totally understand why some people cut their family off. And I know with this, there is a lot of guilt. People feel really guilty when they're like, well, I don't really talk to my aunt or my mom or my dad as much anymore because they don't support me. And it's hard for me not to want to talk to them because they're my family, but what am I supposed to do, you know? And I think all of those guilty feelings are valid thoughts. I'm a big person that believes in I will do what I have to do and I will cut off whoever I have to cut off. And I know people feel really bad when they take some space from their parents or their cousins or their aunts or their uncles, or they completely stop talking to them. And I'm here to tell you, you do not need to feel guilty for separating yourself from somebody who is supposed to love you and they're showing you anything but that. Period. Point blank. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I don't care but that's your family. Like I said earlier, yeah, that's supposed to be my family and they're giving me unsupport. They're treating me like shit. Is that what family's supposed to be? Absolutely not. Don't fall for that propaganda. Family is not supposed to be that. Family's supposed to be loving, supportive. Your family is supposed to be your team that's there when the world is failing you, not the other way around. So don't feel guilty because this is your life. This is your career, your dream, and you deserve to be fully surrounded by people that support you 1,000,000%, that fully believe in you. So it's easier for you to believe in yourself. Because I will say, yes, I've always believed in myself. I never doubted myself, even when I didn't have support. But I won't lie, it's definitely harder to believe in yourself when it feels like, damn, I'm the only one believing in myself. This is insane. But understand that at the end of the day, and this is something I say, it may sound a little macabre, but when it's time for you to go, you are the only person that's in your casket. Nobody else, not your friends, not your family. You are the only person that will lie on that deathbed and be ready to go. And you are the only person that's going to have to ask yourself, do I regret the life that I lived, or do I feel satisfied with everything that I've done? Imagine thinking to yourself, I am not happy with the life I've lived and I've regretted it and I didn't get to achieve my dreams because I stopped myself, because I let other people get to me, and you regret it. And then you go. And that's it. There's no more of this life to live. So do you want to lay there and regret everything because you were too afraid to do what you needed to do to fully go into your creativity, to fully do your career? I'm not telling you to cut off your family unless you feel like you have to, unless you feel like this is too much negativity, they're being manipulative, they're being abusive, and you need to fully cut them off. I support it 1000%. But if you need to just take space, if you need to set boundaries, do that. Because people who do not support you do not deserve to have any part in what you do. You wouldn't do it with friends, and friends are your chosen family. I wouldn't do it with my blood family either. If you didn't support or believe in me from the get-go, I don't know what to tell you. And the craziest thing about that is it's not hard to believe in someone. It's not hard to say, that sounds like a really great opportunity and career field, and I fully support you, and like I believe in you that you're gonna do it. You need good people in your circle to help support you throughout the whole entire process. That is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to check out the link in the description box below. That's where you're gonna find me on all my other social platforms. That's also where you're gonna find the Thought Daughter podcast on Spotify if you prefer to listen there. I know not everybody likes the whole video aspect, but I do have the full audio of each podcast episode uploaded on Spotify, so please go check that out. Make sure to like, comment, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. Subscribe and turn on those post notifications so that you can get notified the next time I post a video. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and talk to you next time. Bye.